Welcome to Jessi Fit Pilates, your home to get fit, toned, and flexible as we strengthen, stretch, and smile. Welcome to my morning mobility series. If you struggle with getting up in time and feeling good in your morning, if you wake up and everything just hurts, this routine is for you. It's a yoga, mobility, and some Pilates moves thrown in there. This will be a quick 15-minute workout, stretching based, flexibility based. September is a great time. It's September when I'm releasing this, and this is just such a great time. It's back to school, summer's over, and the days are gonna start to get shorter. So it's really important that in those short days, you're really energetic and active and out of bed. I know that I love coffee, and maybe you love your coffee or tea and caffeine too, but make sure that you grab a bottle of water. This particular routine, as part of my morning mobility series, is really gonna focus on functional movement. So if you have a young kid that you have to pick up, if you have to pick up a lot of laundry, if you need to stay active and you find that your lower back starts hurting, this routine is for you. We are going to start today standing, and because it's really a yoga routine, there's really no equipment needed for this. You're welcome to always have a block, and let's start with our feet about hip distance apart. And I like to start with toe wall heels, right? And you're just lifting your heels, dropping them, and then lifting the toes. So you're going from the toes, the balls, the heels, balls, toes. And that just helps you to build some awareness in your feet. As you can see, it also works your balance. And now come to a spot where all four corners of your feet are on the mat, right? The pinkies and the ankles. And we're gonna start with our hands on our lower backs. I'm gonna give you the side view, but I am standing with my feet parallel. Hands are on my back. Lift your chest, draw your belly muscles in, activate those thigh muscles, and really squeeze your glutes as you open your chest and look towards the ceiling. Think about opening the shoulders, and then settle back down to neutral. Abs, glutes active, chest opens, return to your neutral or your standing position. Focus on those shoulders staying back. Breathe in, and my hands are just here to give me a little bit of support. Breathe out. Squeeze your thighs, exhale, inhale. Now, if you want to advance a little bit, you can bring your hands together. Just make sure your abs stay tight and really open the chest. Neutral. Remember, if that doesn't feel right, leave it out. This is a great one if you've been staring at a phone or reading a book too much. Anything that puts your head in that forward position, we're really taking it back. Now, from here, we're gonna go into some Pilates roll down. So we're segmentally rolling the spine down. Drop your chin to your chest. Soft knees, press into all four corners of your feet. My feet are staying parallel. I'm rolling down. Hands here. And now I'm lifting my chest and squeezing my abs. So combining it, a little bit of a roll. And remember, guys, if anything causes you pain, just leave it out. This may not be suitable if you have a lower back injury. And of course, if you want something to do something longer, you're always welcome to do that, right? So one vertebra at a time. We go neutral, chin, right, first vertebra, mid back. One more time here. On the next one, we're gonna hold it down. And I'm gonna take my hands to the floor. Remember, you can always just have your hands here or to your shins if that feels better. And I'm gonna take a nice deep breath in, and I'm gonna lift my belly, and I'm gonna see if I can take actually, let's just keep the hands on the shins. If you want to take your hands to the floor, you can. I'm gonna flatten my spine, round. Flatten, right? And this is a big hamstring stretch. Round. The challenge is going to be keeping weight in my toes. Breathe in. Breathe out, right? So it's like that cat-cow movement. Breathe in. But for my hamstrings in the morning, if, I might sleep really curled up in a ball. And this really helps me to loosen a little more than static stretching in the morning. I think we want to move a little bit, get the blood flowing. Breathe in and out. Now from here, I'm gonna bring my feet together and I'm going to take one foot in front of the other and I'm gonna go pinky to pinky. I'm gonna shift my weight back in my toes. Bend the knees if you need to. You can always use a block underneath your hands. And I'm gonna just stay here. And I'm gonna reach my hands from the floor and I'm gonna start to open my chest. I'm gonna really at the same time press my abs in and up. And we'll just pause here. Really feeling it in this back calf. You might feel it in the hamstrings, the hips. And you want to really think about those shoulders, not really putting a lot of tension into them. And then from here, I'm going to come up and just grab my elbows and just do a little side to side rocking, keeping pressure in my toes. Really gentle, loosening the low back now. And then finally, I'm going to roll back up, one vertebra at a time. Uncross my feet, recross the other foot in front, square the hips off, roll my spine slowly forward, draw my abs in, come on down, press into those toes, and just pause, softening through the shoulders. See if you can touch the floor. Now, you can always use a block. As you can see, this is not easy for me. Really feeling this in the back of my leg, and I'm really working hard to press into my toes. Deep breath in, soften through those shoulders. From here, grab the elbows side to side. Really trying to loosen up my back, keeping my abs in tight. And then finally, hands down to the floor, uncross the legs, and let's come on in. Slide to the back of your mat and come to a kneeling position now. Hands are on my hips, gaze is forward, hips and shoulders are squared off to the short end of my mat. That 1 foot forward and come into a lunge, but just keep the abs and the glutes engaged. So I'm squeezing in here and I'm squeezing in here. Now I'm gonna slide the other foot forward, press into all 10 toes. Keep the back leg active. And we're gonna go just a little bit faster. Slowly though, making sure that we're engaging. So I'm not rushing through. And you can always use your hands. So if you need to touch the mat, you can touch the mat. Try to keep the hips square. As you can see, it's easy for that hip to turn back. And then finally, hold it forward. Take your hands to the floor. And similar, but now in this kneeling plank, let's just do a few of these lunge to planks. Just getting a little more depth in the hips in each one. And then finally, spreading through the fingers, we're gonna take our shoulders off our ears and we're gonna come to a down dog or a pike. I'm gonna keep my knees bent. Right, I'm not super flexible in the hamstrings. I'm gonna really stretch my arms and open my chest. So for me, I really wanna focus on my upper body today. My shoulders are off my ears. I'm bending my knees slightly and I'm letting my heels just slowly drop to the floor. My feet are a little wider than shoulder distance apart. I'm gonna start to pedal through my feet just to wake my calves up. And behind the scenes, I'm drawing my shoulders off my ears and my abs in super tight. From here, I'm going to try to stretch both of my legs. And notice I'm not even stretching them all the way. And then I'm going to come on down to a few cat-cows here. I'll slide my hands under my shoulders. And I'm going to drop to my elbows and I'm going to come to a Sphinx pose. I'm going to draw my belly muscles in and lift up through my chest. I'm going to press into my elbows and draw my abs in and up as I draw my shoulders back. Now I want you to see if you can keep both of your feet lifted as you bend one leg and stretch it, right? This is just a lower back exercise. You might get a little bit of a quad stretch, and see if you can flex your toes, flex as you kick. And it's an old school Pilates exercise that's great for opening the front of the body and mobilizing your hips. Now from here, I'm going to see if I can press into my hands. Careful if you have low back issues, stay on those elbows. Draw the shoulders off the ears and lift up through your chest. Now lower all the way down to the mat. Press back to your hands and knees and come back to your kneeling position. I'm going to start on the flex feet. This will be a little harder. We'll get to that in a bit, but let's warm you up here and take your hand to the low back again, kind of where you have them in the beginning, a little bit more here. And I want you to lift your chest, draw your abs in, shoulders back. And now we're in like a kneeling camel. Or in Pilates, we call this a thigh stretch. Squeeze the abs and the glutes simultaneously. Open the chest, hinge. Now we're going to add on just a little bit. Bring one hand forward. See if you can reach one hand back. Notice I'm staying square. Notice I'm opening the chest. Come back. Switch hands. Hinge back a little bit. I'm really keeping my abs in and my shoulders back. Now if you want to challenge yourself, you'll go into that with pointed toes. Keep the hips square, shoulders back, abs in. Remember, the further back you go, the harder it gets. Make sure you're pressing equally into both feet and knees to stabilize. And make sure you're twisting from the waist and not so much from the neck. 4 more, guys. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Last one. Now I'm going to bring you to face the long end of your mat. Slide one foot out. Take that hand down, or the opposite hand down, and stretch the arm over. Now stabilize. Reach out to the other side. Really just a big, deep stretch for your side body. Now let's maybe go a little faster. Reach up. And remember, you can always modify with a block. Nice deep breaths. Now hold it, reaching to your right. Stand on, now don't, hold it, reaching to your right. Take your hands forward and just slide your hips forward and back a few times. Nice deep breath in. And then for the other side, slide the foot out, forward and back. Shoulders are off of your ears, abs are in tight. And let's bring the feet together and stand on up and see if you can open your feet wide. And let's stay parallel. You can always use a block under your hands. And let's just round forward and up. Right, rolling through the spine a few times here, breathing in and out. And I want you to walk over, it'll be to your left, and just hold on to that knee for a second. Press into your toes, so shoulders are nice and soft. And just draw your abs in and maybe come a little bit deeper into the stretch. And let's unfold into the center and over to the other side. Nice deep breath in, press into the toes, release the upper body, draw the belly in, nose to knee. Keep drawing the abs in. Now we're gonna stay facing that side, turn those toes out, and let's just come up through a warrior pose. Try to square off through your hips. Reach the arms up, get a big deep stretch. I'm really pressing into that back leg and bending through that front leg. And I'm just gonna come up through the center by straightening that leg and turning the other toes out and just coming into a deep, deep lunge. Now, start to face the other end of the mat. You can widen the stance and really bend that knee so it plants right over that front heel and reach the knee out over the third and the fourth toes as you rotate from that waist and plant that back pinky toe down. Breathe in here. And let's come all the way on up and heel toe your feet together. Reach the arms up, draw the shoulders down, and let's balance on your right leg. Breathe it in here, and then rotate that knee out and in. Rotate it out. You can rest it on the foot, just waking up those hips, waking up your balance. A few more here, out, in, out, in. Slide that foot down, slide the other leg up, rotate it out, in, and exhale. Soft shoulders, press into all your standing toes, waking up that standing leg, and then finally setting it down, rolling your shoulders back a few times, shaking out your wrists. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for joining me. I really hope I helped to make your morning just a little bit more magic. This is part of my Morning Magic blog post, which is brand new, and I really hope you check out the blog post and the other videos I have coming. Make sure you hit that subscribe button if you want to get fit, toned, and flexible with me. Thanks for tuning in.